Now the effects are arranged in a chain. You can select which patch to edit here. So like right now I'm editing FX1. FX1 is selected and I have my effects send on. If I select number 2, it's going to decide that FX2 is controlling the signal I'm sending through. So for example, here, FX2, I want a flanger. Let's say I want to combine effects 1 and 2. I can actually hit effects chain and it gives me different options. So here you'll see effects 1 is being routed to effects 2 and straight out. If I choose this one, it means it's going straight to effects 2 and effects 3 and then out. Here I get all 3. And here I just have the one that's selected, which would be FX2. So let's say if it's 1 and 2, we have 1 is set for a ring modulator. Something to keep in mind, these can also be applied to any external sequence, and you can record your movement over the filters by using motion sequence. And then applying that to the track, over here you'll see your motion sequence settings, and you can turn it on and off from smooth to trigger hold, which are 2 different ways to apply a motion sequence. We also have part common. This controls your part. Let's go back to a drum kick for this. Pitch glide allows us either to, with the keyboard, control glide, or with the individual drum kit, control the setting of the drum. Let's turn the effects off here. So that's pitch. EG time is envelope gain time. Start time is when the actual sample starts. Pan is left and right. And level is the overall level of the patch. Amp envelope gain controls how that patch is played. In the case of a kick drum, you most likely want to use this. It just means a solid attack and solid release. If you set it this way, it's going to put a tail on there. That's more useful for keyboards. Let me switch over to that real quick. Switch it back over to here. And now we can control the release. And the glide. So switching over to a keyboard part, I'll assign it. That's just a straight pattern, but if I do it with the curve here, this allows me to add release. And use my glide. And my pan. Now I can also, again, change the start point of this. I can also do a roll, which if I switch over to the drums again, and you can set it to reverse. Again, really cool option for that. Switching back to keyboard, I have my modulation control. I can set the waveform. Tell it to go to my pitch control, cutoff, amp or pan control. I can set my filter, cutoff, resonance, and envelope gain amount here. Change up the type, low pass, high pass. Or band pass. Or band pass filter plus. One more thing, we also have an accent control. So if I'm playing my drums, for example, I can hit accent and tell it where to accent my drum kicks or where to not accent my drum kicks. Now, one thing I've heard from people who own this unit is that the accent control actually does distort the drums digitally, so you might want to actually never use the accent control, though I've heard other people who have gotten positive results from this, so it just depends on what it sounds like. From what I've noticed, the bass kicks are fine. If you keep the accent off, I wouldn't recommend using the accent on for a bass kick. But for something like a snare or a clap where you need a little more high-end oomph to it, it's fine. If you want to crank the bass drums, use the tubes that come here. There's actually tube gain control. And then you get kind of that heavier. Alright, well that is the Korg ESX Electribe. I will be back in the next video to show you how to make a loop with this and how to work with bass lines. But for now, this is GearWire.com, and my name is Bill Holland.